Okay, here you have the output V0. Let's call this R2. Let's call this R1. So Rn of the open loop op amp is given as 100K. R out of the open loop op amp is given as 1K. The open loop gain of the op amp is 10 power 4. Okay, Rs, that is the source resistance of Vin. Rs is the source resistance of Vn, which is given as 1K. RL, which is the load. RL, which is the load, is given as 2K. Okay. So now this will be R2 will be 1 mega ohm and R1 will be 1 kilo ohms. Okay. So first now let's try to draw the block diagram of this. Because this is an op amp, it's easier to realize it with a block diagram. So I want all of you to concentrate. Okay. So first, okay, let's name this as Vs. So that's a better convention. Let's name this as Vs. Okay. So now let's draw the block diagram. So first, you have Vs. Okay. So this has a source resistance that is equal to Rs, which is 1 kilo ohm. This is given to the input of a voltage amplifier, okay, which is basically whatever voltage is present across the input impedance of the amplifier itself is amplified, right? Okay, here we have to give a feedback. Okay, so now this is basically the amplifier portion, right? So this gets amplified A times. So this will be 10 power 4 times Vi, correct? Because the open loop gain of the amplifier is 10 power 4. Then you have R0 here, which is 1K. So this is the portion of the amplifier. Okay. So now this in turn is connected to a load, right? This is connected to a load of 2K. So since the op amp is single-ended, this is grounded. Since the op amp has a single-ended output, this is grounded. This is where you take the output voltage V0. Correct. So now there's a feedback. We have already done this kind of an amplifier and we know what kind of a feedback this is. Correct? Can one of you tell me what kind of a feedback this is? Put it in the chat box. What kind of a feedback is this? Okay, voltage series feedback. So we are sampling the output voltage here, right? So since we are sampling the output voltage, this is done in parallel. Let me use a different color. So we are going to sample the output voltage. Since we are doing it, we'll do it in parallel, correct? So you have a 1 mega ohm here. Okay, and you have 1 kilo ohm that's connected to ground. Correct? So 1 kilo ohm, which is connected to ground. This is R2 and this is R1. And the voltage across R1 is being fed back. So the voltage across R1 is being fed back to the input. Okay, so we'll continue. So now we already know what is the feedback path here, right? So what is the feedback path here? It is this. The feedback path is this. Correct? So this is going to be the feedback path. So is it an ideal feedback path now? No, right? Because this has resistors. The feedback path has resistors. So these resistors will load both the output side as well as the input side. So this is not an ideal feedback path. So the next thing what we are going to do is, we will see what is the impedance seen through these 2 points of the amplifier. So what impedance of the feedback path do we see from these 2 points? Okay, the impedance that is seen from the output of the amplifier into the feedback path. Now we have to find out what is this R. Let's call this Rx. What's the impedance seen through these 2 points? Okay, into the feedback path. Now let's see. So now this is the feedback path. So you have 1 mega ohm and then you have 1 kilo ohm, which is grounded, right? And then this you're going to feed back in series, okay? And you will have to find out what is the impedance seen between these 2 points, right? You'll have to find out what is the impedance between these 2 points. Since these are the output of this is connected in series at the input, you're going to leave these 2 open while you're finding Rx. Okay, so you're going to leave these 2 open while finding Rx, because if you short it, then this 1 kilo ohm gets shorted. Okay, when something is connected in series, so you leave these 2 points open when you're finding the impedance through the output path. So now can you tell me what's the impedance seen through this? What is the impedance Rx? So this is the impedance seen through the Rx, is the impedance seen through output. Can you tell me what's the value of Rx? What's the impedance you're seeing through this point now? How much is the loading of the feedback path on the output side of the amplifier? This is quite simple and straightforward, right? We have done a lot of this earlier. How do you find out R? You give a small voltage Vx and then find the change in the current Ix. So I can write Vx by Rx is equal to Vx by Ix. And since this is open here, this current Ix flows like this. Correct? So what is Vx by Ix here? How are these 2 resistors connected? They are connected in series, right? So therefore, I can write Rx is equal to 1 mega ohm plus 1 kilo ohm. Correct? So this is the impedance seen through the output when you're seeing into the feedback path. In other words, we say the feedback path loads the output with this much resistance. Yes.
Like in this case, won't the current flowing through the 1K resistor be different than Ix, man?
Why?
Because here we left it open, but in actuality it will be closed, no ma'am, because of the
So yeah,
input load.
basically, correct, you're right. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to separate the feedback network now. Okay. We are trying to separate the feedback network from the amplifier. We will see what only this feedback network, how the only the feedback network will load the input and the output side. Okay, we are not taking the entire network into consideration here. We are only trying to find out how this will load only this circuit, only the feedback circuit, how only this will load the output side and how this will load the input side. We are trying to find out only that. So when you're trying to find out how this will load the output side, you are not considering any part of the amplifier, because we do not want to consider this for the loading of the output, because this is nowhere connected to the output of the amplifier. So we are only trying to find out how this feedback path only is loading the output side and how this feedback path only is loading the input side. We are not considering anything else here, how this is connected to the amplifier and all that. So it's basically like this. We are trying to separate it. We are pulling that network out and we'll see what loading that network has on the output side and on the input side. And then we'll put that loading on the amplifier in order to make the beta network ideal. That's what we're trying to do now. Is
Okay,
it
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next, Aditya, can you tell me what's the impedance seen through the input side now? So from the input side, it looks something like this, no? You have 1 mega ohm and then you have 1 kilo ohm here, right? You're trying to see the input, let's call this Ry, input through this point, this is grounded, okay? So whenever you're trying to find the input impedance, here you see that 1 mega ohm is connected in shunt to the output. So therefore, we will short this. So whenever the resistance is connected in series, you leave it open circuit. Whenever you see the resistance connected in shunt, you short it. Okay. So now why should you do that? Because let's say you short it here. Okay, let's say you short it here, even though it's connected in series. Then the effect of this 1K on the output impedance is getting masked, right? If you short this, then the short is coming in parallel with 1K, and this effect of 1K on the output impedance is getting masked. Similarly, if you leave this open circuit here, there'll be no current flowing through this 1 mega ohm. Therefore, the effect of this 1 mega ohm on the input side is getting masked. Is it clear? So now, with this arrangement, you're going to try and find what is Ry. Okay, with this arrangement, you're going to try and find out what is Ry. So Ry again, you can find out by giving a small voltage Vi and trying to find what is I. So when you give a small voltage Vy here, what happens to the current? Will the same current flow through both 1K and 1 mega ohm when you give a small voltage Vy here? How are these resistors connected, Aditya? Can you tell me? Yeah, they're connected in parallel, right? So what is the effective resistance that the input side is seeing now? So the effective resistance that the input side is seeing now is this much. So basically, this feedback path is going to load the input side by this resistance. Is it clear? So now let's go ahead and try to find out what is beta, okay? Now let's go ahead and try to find out what is beta. We know beta is equal to Vf by V naught, correct? Because beta we know as Vf is equal to beta V naught, right? So now let's consider the feedback path again. You have 1 mega ohm here. You have 1 kilo ohm here, right? So you're giving the output voltage here at that point, as in between these two terminals. And then you're measuring Vf between these two terminals. Okay. So now can you tell me what's Vf by V naught? Correct. So this is just a simple voltage divider, right? So it's just a simple voltage divider. Therefore, beta will be 1K divided by 1K plus 1 mega. This is approximately equal to 10 power minus 3. Right? 1 by 1001. Approximately this is 10 power minus 3. So is it clear whatever we have done so far? All we have done is we have drawn the block diagram of this inverting amplifier with input impedance, output impedance, source resistance, and load, and the feedback network. So then after this, we separated the feedback network from the amplifier, and we are going to see how this feedback network is going to load the input side and the output side. We also found out beta. Now, we'll try to draw this, redraw this feedback network a little differently, okay, so that it's easier for you to understand. What did I do? Okay, sorry. So let's do it here. Okay, you have Vs. So you have 1 kilo ohm. Okay, and then you have 100K. Okay, this is the amplifier part basically. So here you will have Vi. So this will be 10 power 4 times Vi. This is R naught, which is 1K. Then you have 2K, which is grounded, right? And then you're going to take the output at this point. Okay, now let's come to the feedback path. Now let's do it a little differently, this feedback path. So now this is an impedance of how much? You know, approximately 1 mega ohm, right? It's 1 mega plus 1 kilo. So this is an impedance of approximately Rx here, right? So let's call this some, okay, this V naught, because this is V naught, and this is also across the same 2 points, therefore this is also V naught. And this will be beta times V naught. Beta we know is 10 power minus 3 into V naught, okay? And then the impedance that is seen through the input is coming in series here, right? How much is that? It's 1 mega parallel 1 kilo ohm, which is Ry, okay? And then this portion, you're feeding it back. So this portion, this portion, you're feeding it back, right? So is this clear now? Is this clear to all of you, the second circuit? Now what we have to do, is this clear or not? So now what we have to do, as we discussed earlier, we have to put all this loading resistors onto the amplifier, right? We have to put all this loading resistors onto the amplifier, and we want to make this feedback path ideal, right? So this Rx is connected between these two terminals. So what we do, we remove the Rx here, okay? And then we'll connect it on the amplifier side. We are pushing all this loading part onto the amplifier side, right? Similarly, we will remove this resistor Ry here, and I can connect this in the same path here, right? I can connect it in the same path here. So I'll again push this on the amplifier side. So I'll push this resistance on the amplifier side, Ry. So this is your input. So this should have been in red actually. Anyway, so this will be your Ry. So now since I've pushed Ry up, since I've pushed Rx up on the amplifier side, so I have an ideal feedback path now, correct? So my feedback path will look something like this. So you're giving a V naught here, right? You're giving a V naught here, and then you're getting a beta times V naught here, and then this is going to the amplifier. So now this is going to look ideal, right? Because I'm pushing all the loading part onto the amplifier, trying to make the feedback network ideal. Why am I trying to make the feedback network ideal? Because I can apply these formulas, whatever I've derived for RIF, ROF, only when the feedback network is ideal. So we derived all these formulas assuming the feedback network is ideal. Now, since the feedback network is ideal, what we are going to do next is, we'll forget about this feedback network because we already have calculated beta. Okay. What we'll do now is, we'll calculate V naught by Vs. We will calculate V naught by Vs. You disconnect this feedback network. Forget about this feedback network because we know it's ideal. Now let's only concentrate on the open loop amplifier. So we'll calculate the gain of the open loop amplifier, which is V naught by Vs. So let's call that as AV. Once you know AV, you already know beta. Okay, you apply the formula A by 1 plus A beta, you'll get the gain of the closed loop amplifier. Similarly, you concentrate only on the open loop amplifier now and calculate what are the input and the output impedances of the open loop amplifier. Once you calculate, you already know what is A and what is beta. So RO by 1 into 1, say beta, will give you the input impedance with feedback. RO divided by 1 plus A beta will give you the output impedance with feedback. Is that clear? So the next step that we are going to do is, we have to calculate the total gain of this amplifier with feedback. Okay, but before that, in order to do that, first we already know what is beta. We have calculated, right? It is 10 power minus 3. Now we will disconnect this feedback network from the open loop amplifier and calculate all the parameters of the open loop amplifier. Once we know all the parameters of the open loop amplifier, just dividing that by 1 plus A beta or multiplying that by 1 plus A beta will give us all the parameters of the closed loop amplifier. So that's what we are going to do next. Is it clear? So now let's try to find out all the open loop parameters. Okay. Now let me draw the open loop circuit for you. This is just a repetition of the previous circuit, whatever we had done. Okay. So you have Vs. So I'm going to only draw the amplifier part now. Okay. You have 1K here. Correct. And then you have 100K here. And then you have Rx here, which is, I think, 999 ohms, right? 1K in parallel with 1 mega approximately. Okay. And then you have here A times Vi, where this is Vi, correct? So you have here A times Vi here. So that's 10 power 4 times Vi. Okay, and then this is R naught of the, how much is it? R naught. What was the value of R naught?
1K.
1K. Okay, thank you. And then you have the load here, 2K. This is the point at which you're taking the output voltage V naught, right? This is at ground. And then you have Rx here, right? So which is approximately 1 mega plus 1K. So, okay. So now I want you to find out what is V naught by Vs. First, find out what is Vi in terms of Vs. All these three resistors are coming in series. No, let me even identify the amplifier, actual amplifier. Okay. So what's Vi in terms of Vs? This is again an voltage divider, no, basically, isn't it? So this will be 100K divided by 100K plus 1.999K. Correct? This will be Vi by Vs. Is this clear to all of you? Does it require any explanation?
Yeah, ma'am.
Clear, okay. So how much is this? Can you calculate and tell me? How much do you get? Definitely less than 1. Or how much is this?
.98.
Okay. So this 0.98. Okay. So now this voltage, what is present across Vi. So in other words, I can write Vi is equal to 0.98 Vs, right? So this voltage is getting amplified 10 power 4 times. So therefore, A times Vi will give me how much? 0.98 into 10 power 4. Correct? The voltage at this point is what I'm talking about. Okay. So now this voltage that is amplified 8 times, now will again get split, no? It will again get split between this 1K and a parallel combination of these two resistors. Correct? So now can you tell me what's V naught? So if I have to calculate V naught, it will be the parallel combination of the output impedances, which is 1.001 mega, okay, in parallel with 2K. So there'll be a voltage divider here, right? 1.001 mega in parallel with 2K plus 1K. That's the voltage divider, right? This into the input voltage. So the input to this is AVI, and we have already calculated what is AVI. It is 0.98 into 10 power 4 Vs. So now you please calculate what is V naught by Vs and tell me.
Ma'am, V naught by Vs is 6.52 kilo ohms.
Okay, that's right. Thank you. So this will be around 6.52K or 53. Right? So now I hope you can differentiate between this value 6.52K and the gain of the amplifier 10 power 4. So this gain of the open loop amplifier is 10 power 4 under no loading conditions. Okay, the open loop gain of the amplifier with 6 is 6.52K by considering the loading conditions. I hope you're able to differentiate between the two. Right? So now this is the value that we have to consider while calculating the term 1 plus A beta. Right? With the loading conditions. So now can one of you calculate 1 plus A beta and tell me how much it is? We'll just put it up here. You know what is beta, right? Calculate the value 1 plus A beta because we need it everywhere, right? So therefore you calculate the value 1 plus A beta and tell me how much that is. Aryan Meda, can you tell me? Aryan Meda, are you there? Anup, can you tell me?
7.52.
Okay. Thank you. All of you got this right? 7.52. Okay, so now let's calculate what is AF. Now let's calculate what is AF. AF is a closed loop parameter, right? AF is nothing but, okay, let me call this as AV only. This is also AV in order to differentiate the two. Okay. So AV divided by 1 plus AV into beta. So that will be 6.52K divided by 7.52. How much is that? This will be your closed loop gain. Okay. So this is around 867. Correct? So this will be your closed loop gain. Now look at this. In your ideal condition, what is the closed loop gain of this? When you take op-amp infinite, input impedance infinite, output impedance also 0. So in an ideal case, what will be the gain of this?
Ma'am, 1 plus R2 by R1.
R1.
Yeah, that's right. 1 plus R2 by R1, which will be around 1000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
1000 plus
K.
1. Yeah. Correct? So this is the gain. But with loading, you see that the closed loop gain has reduced. It's not 1000, it is less than 1000. This is because of the loading of the input and the output, because this has finite input impedance and finite output impedance. Okay, now next let's try to calculate what is the input impedance of the amplifier considering the source resistance. Okay, because we cannot separate the source resistance here at this point because we have a beta network that we have not drawn. So let's include the source resistance and calculate what is the input impedance. Simple. The input impedance is 1K plus 100K plus 999 ohms. Right? The open loop input impedance is approximately 102 kilo ohms. Correct? So now can you calculate what is the closed loop input impedance, RIF? So RIF will be RI into 1 plus AV beta. Correct? How much is that? 760, is it? Can you please put it at
767.
Okay, 767. Okay, 767 kilo ohms. Similarly, now we'll calculate what is the output impedance of the open loop amplifier. So we cannot actually separate the load here from the output impedance because there is feedback, right? So we'll calculate it with the load now and then separate the load at the end. Okay. So now can you tell me what's RO, output impedance of the open loop amplifier with the load impedance 2K? You consider even the load impedance 2K. Okay, how do you calculate that? So basically you short this, right? So you make Vs is equal to 0. You make
Okay,
Vs
1K
is
in
equal
parallel,
to
yes.
0. Okay. So then this will also be 0. So it looks like 1K is shorted. Correct? Now can you tell me what's R naught?
All three in parallel.
Correct. So it will be 2K parallel with 1.001 mega in parallel with 1K. This is how we calculate the output impedance, right? You short the input. So when you short the input, Vi is also 0. A times Vi is also 0. So therefore, 1K is coming in parallel with 2K and 1.001 mega ohms. Right? So how much does it come up to?
666 ohms.
Okay, 666 ohms. Now calculate what is ROF. So ROF is given by RO divided by 1 plus A beta. That is 666 ohms divided by 7.52. How much is this?
88.56.
Around 88 ohms. Okay. So I hope this is clear till here. Now, if you want to find out the actual input impedance and the actual output impedance of the circuit, you shouldn't be considering the source resistance and the load resistance respectively, right? So RIF actual is whatever RIF that we have obtained minus RS. Because when we are trying to find the input impedance of any amplifier, we shouldn't consider the source resistance. But initially we considered the source resistance and found out because we had a beta network and we didn't know how to separate the source impedance from the beta network. So we found out the input impedance of this entire network of the amplifier. So now, since in order to find the input impedance, we are not supposed to consider the source resistance because it's a part of the voltage source. Let's subtract it. So now this will be equal to 766 kilo ohms, right? Similarly, what is ROF actual? See, you were able to subtract this here because it was in series, right? But at the output, it is in parallel. Correct? At the output, it is in parallel. So therefore, you will, from this, you will have to eliminate a parallel combination of 2K. Right? So therefore, 1 by 88 minus 1 by 2K will give you what? 1 by the actual ROF. Since we are running short of time, you can calculate this at home. This ROF actual, you will get that to be equal to around 92 ohms. Is it clear? So now go through this again while I take attendance. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting after the attendance, after your names are called. Yes.